This is Bear and Aware, the podcast where women come together to inspire through themselves, through their community, and through the work in the collective. Today, I'm joined by Roswitha. This is a second part of our conversation together. In the previous episode, Roswitha talks about her story, going from being homeless to starting a six-figure business and all the things you need to know to lead your business and scale your business with awareness and intention. We entered into such flow during the episode that we actually recorded 2 episodes at once. So I do recommend that you go through them sequentially just so that you have more idea of what is Vita and her work and her impact in the world. And then come tune into this one. In today's episode, we're going to be going deeper. We're going to be going beyond that. And we're going to be talking about the different things that we see in the collective, in the coaching industry, when it comes to money and money goals and millionaires and inspired action and the things that we can actually do with our money to make a change in the world. Welcome, Ms. Vita. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me and for doing this. I'm super, super excited.
I would love to get your opinion on why your work right now is so important in the world. Like, how are all of these women getting to 10K months? Like, how is that making the world a better place?
Mm. I want to show people there's a different way of making money that doesn't require you to work hard or work a lot or neglect areas of your life because that's what I see. I either see people working very hard and neglecting areas and then becoming burnout or unhappy with their life at some point, even if they make the money, or I see the other part. Gaslighting, a lot of gaslighting, like you can be everything you want to, you can make 100K a year, you can make whatever with no how to with no understanding of your capacity of your life circumstances what not everybody can do. I'm sorry, but it's true. Not everybody can make minimum 10K cash months at all times. That's not possible for everybody. I don't care. Like, we're not created equal, we're not born equal. There's a time and a place, and there are steps to be taken, and then it matters if you're a single parent or if you have support at home. The single parent will not be get the results as fast as somebody who has support at home. Period. I don't care. Yeah, she at some point she can get that, but it's gonna take maybe way more time than somebody who has support at home and can only have to worry about, oh, do I make money this month to buy something nice for myself or build my savings account? Or the other person, oh my God, if I don't make money, I'm gonna be homeless next month. The stress and the reality hits totally different. And my job right now, after I've been through the highs and lows, I'm not scared of anything because I've lived through it and I didn't die. So here I am. I want to show that we can look at your circumstances, no matter how bad they are, no matter how scary they are. I've been there, so I know how that feels, and still build from there. We know we need to simplify. So most of the times, either women do too many things, too many strategies, too many offers, too many. No,
I'm curious to know how, over the course of time, your dynamic with your clients has maybe shifted or evolved or changed. Because as you said, you're always learning. So how would you compare your work now with just when you started?
how did my coaching style or relationship with my clients has changed in the last 10 years? Well, in the beginning, of course, you want to people please, you want to make sure you want to control all these things because you don't have experience, you don't have data to back yourself on. So I was that, and I was trying to save people for sure. I was trying to do more than it was even required. I was trying to probably even their therapist when I shouldn't have. Many things that I would never do now in a million years. But back then, you just try to help. And as you learn from other people, as you constantly invest, and I'm so grateful that I started coaching in an era where the coaching industry was ruled by people with integrity, was ruled by people who were very, let's say, honest, and it was not about hype and marketing that much. It was more about how to be a good coach, how to be like genuinely be a good coach, and how to create the best courses and with PDFs and this. It was all about quality and less about hype and marketing, get people to buy, and you have no substance in the background, you have no systems like how is now, unfortunately, for people who are joining the coaching world in the last 2 years. They don't even know what they have to do. They just know they're just learning how to sell, and then they wonder why things are not working out. Well, because you don't have the background. I'm so sorry, but it's true. And I see people who are starting to be a new coach, they're they're having a business coach who's telling them to charge a few $1,000s per session, like per month, when they've never had a client before. And I'm like, that's not ethical. I'm sorry, but it's not. You cannot charge high ticket if you've never been a coach before. Be a coach for 1, 2 years. See what you're good at. See what you love to work on. So your ideal clients, who are they? And then as you grow, then have an offer, have a high ticket offer, no problem. But as a newbie, you cannot, I'm sorry, but you cannot offer the value of a high ticket when you're a newbie. You don't even know how to coach yet. You don't even, not to mention that most people don't even have a coaching degree, which is another issue that I have a problem with. Don't be a therapist, don't be a coach, you don't have a degree in it, because that's misleading. You can mentor people, but mentorship is not the same thing as coaching. People constantly misappropriate them. So I think that's what the problem we have today. People don't, there's so much hype. People, natural people, regular people don't understand the difference between having experience and having certification and stuff, and just someone who's very good at selling or someone who's very good at marketing. You can be the best. I'm not the best at marketing or selling. I'm just not. That's a skill that I'm constantly learning and evolving. But I'm good at coaching. That's my job. So that was my always my main priority. So there's a difference here. So now I don't therapize anyone. I don't people please. I don't
Uh-huh.
I stay in my lane. I don't try to solve all their problems. I don't like, I'm really focused on here's my area of expertise. Of course, I'm gonna see you and I'm gonna be friendly to you and all that, but I'm not gonna also teach you how to eat or how to exercise just because I know, because I do for myself, because I'm obsessed with health and stuff, but I'm not gonna be your expert. Like when I see you need support, I'll be like, okay, so here's the thing. I'm noticing you need some support here. Please hire a health coach or please hire a fitness coach so they can tailor exactly what you need. They can look at you from that angle. I cannot be your everything. I can
Mhm.
pinpoint all the gaps that I see. Of course, I can give you like basic advice because I know, but I'm not going to go into it and tell you, oh, for your body, you should do squats 3 times a week. And you should, no, I will tell you, yes, if you're your goals, you should exercise 3 times a week, but I'm not going to create your routine for you. Please hire someone to do that. So if it makes sense.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. Yeah, that does feel very clean energetically. It's you're stating the boundaries of what the scope of your work is and like what you are willing to coach people about. And I think that was a really important topic that you brought up about integrity as well. I do see that a lot in the coaching industry, especially with the rise of social media and marketing, and anyone can open a business and have a PayPal link and be a coach. Um,
and it's a
so
cash
yeah,
grab. That's the problem. It's a cash grab. And people think they're going to be rich overnight because a lot of millionaires have been made in the last couple of years, and it's true. But it's not a cash grab. It's like you need to also have a gift for it. You also know to be passionate about. Like when I see, like for me, it's so sad to see people advertising. I make millions and I work 2 hours a month in my coaching business. And I'm like, then why are you a coach? Because if you love, imagine if a chef, the best chef in the world would say, I'm the best chef in the world, but I only make one dish per month. No good chef would do that. Because if you're a chef, you have passion. You cannot wait to
mhm.
constantly create, to constantly cook. Every day you're in the kitchen cooking for hours. Does it make sense?
It
That's the
does.
gift. That's the gift that we're missing right now. Just want to have a coaching biz for the money, but not because they're genuinely passionate about coaching people. And the people who
Mhm.
are genuinely passionate about coaching, they will coach every day because that's their passion. That you would see them
Uh-huh.
having sessions every day or whatever. You don't have necessarily every day, but They're passionate about that. That's their purpose. That's their goal in life.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like I would be skeptical about anyone that works, 2 days a month because, like, if I cook 1 day a month, I'm not gonna cook. I'm gonna forget how long to leave the thing on the gas. Do I put the onions or the meat first or whatever? I won't be good at it. And as a coach, like, if you really want to be a master of your craft, it's something that you have to work at every single day. If I don't do something for a month, I'm naturally going to get worse at it, not better. And yeah, I definitely I agree with you on that point. And that also brings me to my next question is like you say, okay, if you're not coaching every day, why are you a coach? So I would love to hear what is like your big why for the work that you do in the world.
That's a good question. I stopped having one a while ago, and I'm going to tell you why. For my nervous system, where I am in my life is a very hard situation. So I take care of my husband. My husband's still sick. I have a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And having a big why does not motivate me or empower me. It just overwhelms me because it's too much for me. So, what I've learned in the last couple of years was to have my immediate why and to have my big vision in life that doesn't have to come necessarily from my business. So, my immediate why, so this year was to have all expenses paid in advance for a year so that I feel like safe and I create everything from joy and relaxation. I don't have to work. It's just more I'm healing myself. I'm doing all this in capacity first, which happened. Now I was like, what if this year I would have all the money for next year? So that's like the same thing, but a little bit earlier and bigger. So that's my next immediate why. It doesn't have to happen, but it's a nice motivation. So it motivates me to show up. My big vision, so why I want to live on this earth is I want to buy a lot of land, especially in my home country in Romania. We have a lot of parks that are protected, but there's a lot of people who want to buy them and develop them and destroy the nature, and it's happening already. And if there's one thing that I want is to be able to buy as much land as I can for protection, to be able to sustain the creatures, to be able to sustain researchers who are researching nature and stuff, to be able to, even if we do build, to build sustainably and show the world, hey, if you do want to build, here's how we can do it to protect nature and not erase it. So this is like my big. I already know where I want to buy land, like it's in the mountains, it's lots of forest. I want to maintain the forest. I don't want some big corporation coming and deforesting everything just for cheap furniture. Oh, so there's something I can do. That's like my big why. And the second big why is, and again, there's so many ways this can happen, is to empower people, especially, again, I'm talking about my country. I believe everybody should focus where they live. Doesn't matter where you live, focus on your neighborhood, focus on your city, focus on your country, make that a better place. So I would like to invest a lot of in education because education is everything. It gets you out of poverty. I'm privileged because I went to the best schools in my country. And because I was exposed to people with money, I was exposed to traveling. My parents were not wealthy, but because I studied hard, I had scholarships, I was obsessed. I worked for free for years to be volunteer so I can so be able to travel cheaper so I can see the world, live in different countries. And that exposed me to different ways of thinking, to different ways of living, because I'm from a third world country. Imagine everybody lived in scarcity and limitation. Limitation was everything. And for me, when I moved to the States, one of the biggest things, what's so funny, it's so sad and so fun at the same time. So, for example, if I would ask my dad to take me somewhere, like by car, rarely would he ever drop me off exactly what I asked him to. Rarely. He would drop me off somewhere where he could turn easily, so he would save on gas. When I moved to the States, that was out of the question. If I would ask somebody, please drive me there, they would leave me in front of that place. And for me, that was a shock because I was always like, you can leave me here. I can walk for 5 minutes. They were like, why? why should I leave you here? You asked me to take you there. Yeah, but you can just turn here so you don't have to do a U-turn 5 minutes. I was like, why? And I was like, to save money? They were like, really? For 5 minutes? And for them it was weird. For me it was weird. So we were all like looking at each other like, what's going on? So this is just one example to understand in how much scarcity I lived as a child and as a culture.
I feel the same. I grew up in Poland, poor country, and I resonated a lot with that, with, asking my parents if I can have like gum or something at the store. And it was always like, we don't have money, we don't have money. And it's also something that I went through and internalized, and a lot of things that I've worked through personally.
I want to do as much as I can with my privilege as I make more and more money and I have more and more power because money buys you power to sustain the politicians that could do something about it or the foundations that could do something about it. And again, education is the main priority, making sure we do get education because if that and the way it's looking now, every country has a problem with education or most country have because the purpose I think is to have people dumb so they can just spend mindlessly and not actually think about their future or think about leaving something behind. Like, what do you leave behind? Your legacy.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Like your vision for the world and like an example of, a leader, of someone that is making money, not just for the sake of money, but that bigger vision of making your community better, improving education, saving nature. And I feel like that is so important, and I really resonate with that mission so that the listeners can find you, connect with you, call you triggers.
Right now I'm very focused on my one-on-one because I practice what I preach. So since I want to have minimum 10K cash month next year, I'm preparing right now by getting fully booked with my one-on-one. And my one-on-one needs to make at least minimum 10K cash month next year. Ideally it would be like 12, like that's my sweet spot. And what I'm doing is one strategy, one ideal client, one offer. And I'm doing free calls, of course. I haven't done free calls in 2 years. So I'm like, I'm doing free calls now back again to fill my one-on-one. So if you are in that spot, and I don't know if you're going to have put the link, but if not, contact me, DM me when you're going to see this, and let's see if you would be a fit for my one-on-one.
I love that. And yes, of course, we'll put all the links.
I think everything is possible for everyone, but not at the same time. Not as easy sometimes. Sometimes it might take years, and that has nothing to do with your worth, your smartness, your capability. It's just life. It's just literally where you are. It's literally the level of support that you have access to. It's literally, and I wish I knew that back then because back then I took it all on me. Like it's my fault if I'm not making the money. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. What's wrong with me? I should work more. I should be more ambitious. I should want more. And it's no. I had zero support. I had to offer so much support. Of course, I couldn't do more. And if somebody would have told me this, it would have relaxed everything in me that it's not all on me or it's not all my fault. Oh, because everybody, that's the message. Oh, you're not making the money? Somehow it's your fault. And it's not. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. It's a matter of how many responsibility you have. And sometimes you have way too many responsibilities. Maybe you have to cook and clean and take care of the kids or take care of your husband or take care of yourself because you also don't want to be fat and unhappy and miserable and unhealthy. Like you also want to look good, to feel good, and you want to exercise and you want to put cream on your face because you don't want to get old and wrinkly. And you also want to make a lot of money, and you also have to take care of your friends who call you every day and complain about something, and you want to be a good friend, and you have your parents who you need to call. And it's like, dude, when we actually look at all the things we have to do, and then you wonder, I don't know what to post, or I don't know how to make really like you of course you have no more capacity, no more creativity, no more energy to think about all the other things because look at how many things you have to do every single day. And there's more compassion. Like I have so much compassion for humans now because I know what it feels like to have nobody look at you and feel compassion for you because they don't understand your life. They don't understand how hard it is for you because they lived in privilege, because they've always had to support. Maybe they've always had a partner who made money, so they never had to make money to pay the bills. Or maybe they always had parents who supported them lovingly. like maybe with words, maybe with finances. So you never know how does somebody who never had that support feels like, or the hole they're in emotionally and nervous system wise because nobody believed in them. And you just tell them, but believe in yourself. No, really. Of course it's easy for me. Nobody ever did. So I just should believe in myself just like that. And then people gaslight themselves, like they force themselves to believe and they tell themselves all these affirmations that their body is like, Chinese, what are you talking about? Makes nothing. See, I feel nothing when you say that because it's not
Uh-huh.
embodied yet. We just pretend to feel that. And I'm sorry, but pretending doesn't work. It doesn't work.
The way that you speak, it just like inspires this like safety and commitment and that stability. I feel like a lot of the online spaces, it's like quantum jump and make millions, like all of these promises. And I just really love how grounded you are and how, I can feel very safe receiving from you.
You have no idea what this means to me because that's exactly what I wanna when I want my energy and my words to make people feel like safe. Because not everybody should make $1 million. Honestly, they don't need to. Not everybody wants to buy, I don't know what luxury or invest money. There's nothing wrong with people who want millions. But when the whole industry is like manipulates you to want that because that's the path, that's a problem. The path is not. When I started, nobody talked about making millions. Not because people didn't want to, but because everybody was so happy to just be able to make a regular job salary from their coaching, from their passion. That was the goal. That was like, oh my God, I'm coaching people and I make like my corporate salary from it. And then at some point, things just got distorted. Make millions, make mil tens of millions, multiple tens of millions. And it's like there's a race. Like you're only good enough if you go there as fast as possible and then you prove that it's possible. And I'm like, do you even need that money? Imagine, do you really need 100 millions? Not everybody needs that. Just not everybody needs designer clothes. Not everybody needs designer houses. Not everybody needs super fancy trips. Let's
Yeah.
normalize life. Let's normalize normal living. Let's go back to making everybody discover who they really are. And if you want a small house, let that be luxury instead of, oh my God, you want too little. Like one coach told me when I told her what I wanted, like, you should dream more. You should dream bigger. That's so low. And I was like, what? What?
Yeah. I see that I see many people out there pushing people to that sense. Oh, okay, like this is your goal. That's too little. Let's add another zero. Make a goal, make a money goal. It should feel too big to hold. And it's like all of these like little cues guiding people out of their nervous system safety to reach for something that they actually don't believe is for them, that they don't believe that they can hold.
Yes. And it's so out, it takes you so much out of your nervous system when you do that. And then if you don't make it, it's your fault. You didn't believe hard enough. You didn't work hard enough. You didn't do. You should buy my next higher level coaching if you want to manifest that now. And it's then you wonder why so many people are in debt and they're scared to invest. Even yesterday, I had a call with somebody who was scared to invest with me because she's like, I'm still paying off the last coach. And I didn't get any return on that investment. Not that she was disappointed, but she was like, there's something there. And I'm like, of course, I get it. And you're right. And I'm sorry, but it's true. So it's like, how do we deal with that? And you will see, I think in the next 5 years, you will see which people are still coaching and which people have moved to another business or another job. Because people who are doing it for the right reason will be here no matter what happens. No matter if the market is up or is down, they're gonna be coaching because they're coaches and that's what they do. And other people will just move on to another hype thing, whatever it will be in 5 years.
Thank you for being like one of the leading voices and bringing more groundedness, bringing in more humanness, more diversity of experience, the permission to have your desires not be grandiose, but be yours, be truly yours and something that you feel happy about, proud about, and
Enough
that you
about.
find fulfillment in. Exactly.
And thank you for your beautiful questions and for holding the space and for seeing me for who I really am. That doesn't happen very often. So you need to have a lot of depth to see other people. And I really appreciate you for that. And I appreciate you for offering this vehicle of communication to connect all of us, connect me with you, connect me with your audience, connect you with my audience. And I'm very grateful that we met somehow.
I am so grateful. I feel like it's so important, especially for you as a money coach, because more people that have money, that are making money, need to be connected to their goal, to themselves, to why they are doing all of this.
And what are we doing with it? I think it's a big responsibility. If you have lots of money, it's your responsibility to change the world. I'm sorry, but if you ask for it, then do something with it. Like, because not everybody has the same privilege. And again, we're all privileged in a certain way. And then if you have the knowledge to make the money and to attract the money, then leave something behind. I'm not saying not have a beautiful life yourself. Buy the mansion, do the things, but use the other money to build something that will last. Build something that will last. Invest in things that are really going to make a change in the next generation.
I feel like that's so important, both in the work that we do and the thought leadership that we share in the world, but then also like your intention to buy land, to make more space for nature, to invest in education, to help other children be able to lead a good life. Like those like really bigger visionary things.
Mm.
It's a lot of people can sit and talk about like the government and politics and stuff, but it's like the people are the ones that make the change. And it's like the collective, like the more people stand up and go for the things that they believe in and go support the causes that they truly believe in, the more the world changes. And especially how you said, begin with your community. And
Yeah.
I think that is very important, to begin with your community, because those are the people that you see in your neighborhoods, in your city, in your country.
And it's your
And
energy. It affects your
mhm.
energy. Like whatever you live, even if, like, for example, I live online, right? It doesn't matter where I live physically, but it affects my energy where I live physically. If people are suffering around me, it affects me energetically, even if I'm aware of it or not. So let's help each other where we live. I'm not saying don't donate to causes across the world. I always do that when something happens. But your main focus should be where you live. Help the people who bake your bread. Help the people who raise your animal that you're gonna eat if you eat animal. Help your culture. Help your everything. Make so much money that when you want laws to be changed in your country and to be no more corruption, you can affect that change because you can fucking donate the money and somebody will do something about it. Like for me, if I see a coach that does that, like I would buy anything from her just because it's so in an alignment with my values versus if I see someone buy another bag and I'm like, okay, it's nice. I love bags too. But at certain point it was something inspire me. Maybe like I watch all those IG accounts where they raise money and they donate cars and they donate a house and they help people out of poverty. And for me, like that's what I want to do with my money. Like that's what I want to. I want to make people really change their lives and see, okay, what are the causes that we can invest in? How can we make the biggest change with our buck? Not just help maybe one person, but how can we, I don't know, set a foundation, or maybe there are already foundations who do that. How can we support those people to continue doing that because it's their mission? And I don't have to have that goal. I can just make the money doing what I'm good at and help them sustain. So I could talk forever just about how passionate I am about changing what I can change. I cannot change everything, but I can make some small changes everywhere I go. And even talking to people. And with this, I will end because I took a lot of your time. But I just want to share something. I was walking my dog in a park, and you talk to people when you're walking your dog. Some people like comment on your dog and you catch up. And there was a mom, young mom with the baby. And she said something about my dog. We started talking, and then I think she asked me, what do I do? Because it was the middle of the day and I was walking my dog, so I didn't have a job. And I told her I do this online thing and I coach women. And She's never heard about coaching. She was like, online, how does that work? And how much money do you make? And I told her, and again, being in Romania, there's a different income inequality. And she was like, I've never heard anybody making that much money in a year, not to mention in a month, and you can walk your dog and you live here. And I was like, yeah, in that building, because it was like next to my park. And she was like, she was mind blown. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
see, she's never heard anybody who was her age, who had so much time off and was making so much money. And for me, it was like, that was motivation right there. Even though she's never gonna be like me, like necessarily a coach or whatever, but her mind opened up that moment because like somebody here
Ooh.
that lives next to me makes so much money and has so much free time. Like in this economy, in like all these thoughts that we have because all the people around us believe the same thing, and then somebody shows up who lives next to you who does something like you're like, it's possible? Like, that's possible? Like, how is that possible? And then people become curious, and because they're curious, they start reading, they start researching, and then somehow they might open up their own business, or they might, or at least they be inspired to think what I have doesn't have to be the end. So I think that's the power of being in your community. Tell people what you do, not for the purpose. I never have the purpose for people to buy from me here because I know they couldn't afford it, most likely. So whenever I share something, I share only from overflow because I just want to inspire them for them to do their own thing. And I'm going to get my clients from all over the world, people who are the 1% who can afford my fees and are at that different level. But it's just so nice to tell people, hey, you should charge more because your bread is amazing. Or hey, please buy this different packaging because this packaging would inspire better or whatever. Like people don't even know what they don't know. So be that light in your neighborhood, in or be an example. Even another stupid example, people don't recycle very well, and I have a problem with that. So I would be the only one in my building who would recycle, and people would make fun of me. Like my neighbors, were like funny, haha. Oh my God, why do you do that? Because they end up in the same landfill, and I'm like, because I want to give an example. Even if they do end up, which we don't know for sure, because you've never went to actually see that, it's just a belief. I want to be the example that if we follow certain rules, the world will change. And guess what? 2 years later, they were recycling because they saw me do it every day. So be
Just
that
act as
example.
if.
Yeah. So be that, be the light. Even if you're the
Mhm.
only one in your neighborhood, be that because in years, it will matter.
Everything that you've shared, there's just so much wisdom in that. And your story is an example. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank
So inspiring also because like we talked about, other people in your community or your family or friends who don't imagine the business working for you, don't imagine the possibility. And just the fact that we have internet now, it connects people where you can work with someone across the globe and connect with them and see that it does work, that you can make money online. And the fact that you're bringing it to your community and showing them, yeah, like this is possible, you can do this. It's like bringing in that air of possibility to your community. So I think that's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you for your beautiful questions and for holding the space and for seeing me for who I really am. That doesn't happen very often. So you need to have a lot of depth to see other people. And I really appreciate you for that. And I appreciate you for offering this vehicle of communication to connect all of us, connect me with you, connect me with your audience, connect you with my audience. And I'm very grateful that we met.
Well, thank you so much, Rosvita. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.